All right, so we're continuing our early coverage of Hurricane
And definitely
Idalia. We're going to dip back into
we will
Governor Ron
come to you.
DeSantis' press conference. We have
If you don't need
officials here giving an
assistance,
update
we
on the
ask you to
storm.
stay put in safe shelter. Please allow the emergency responders to do their job safely without interference. Thank you to our local, state, and federal partners working together in this hurricane effort. We really appreciate the partnership. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Christian Caban. I'm a Leon County Commissioner. I'm here today to assist in the briefing of our community on the impacts of Hurricane Idalia. Leon County residents, Hurricane Idalia has moved slightly east of Leon County. This storm will have a lasting impact on surrounding communities. This is a historic Category 4 storm, predicted to have life-threatening storm surge, hurricane-force winds, and heavy rain. Leon County residents, you should expect downed trees, blocked roads, power outages, flooding, and overall dangerous conditions. Now more than ever, you must stay informed and follow all emergency orders. Everyone must shelter in place until the storm has passed. Please continue to follow Leon County on social media, our website, and local radio station, WFSU. I encourage everyone to try and hunker down and stay safe until the storm has passed. Once the storm passes, we may have many people without power, and there may be lots of debris in the roads. Public Works, along with its partners, will be working 24/7 on the recovery effort of restoring power and clearing roads. Many roads will be blocked by trees or flooding. Water is dangerous to drive on. Please do not use roadways unless it is safe or an emergency. Stay home if you can. Please give first responders time to clear the way and restore power. Folks, Leon County staff is the best of the best. I'm thankful and confident that our team will be working around the clock to restore normalcy to our community. I'd also like to thank the governor and state staff for their ability to respond quickly and assisting not only Leon County, but our neighbors on the Gulf Coast as well as we prepare for impact this morning. Thank you, and God bless.
So we are going to have the full landfall impacts very, very shortly, within the next couple hours, most likely, probably by 0800. It's going to make landfall on Florida's Big Bend. So please hunker down wherever you are. Don't mess with this storm. Don't do anything that's going to put yourself in jeopardy. And there'll be a lot of help coming on the back end of this storm, and we're ready to go. As soon as it's safe to do so, you're going to see all these different assets deployed. So stay safe. Any questions?
Do you feel like the state and residents here are prepared for this strength of the storm, potentially in Category 5? I know we're in Category 4.
I think if you look at the counties, I think that they mobilized very quickly. I think that they've been very clear about the storm surge threat and all these Zone A's across the Gulf Coast, and probably more so than any storm that I can remember in recent years. So people understand. We've said from the beginning it was going to probably be a major hurricane, and that's what it is. And so we're here and we're ready. And we're gonna work hard on the back end to make sure everyone gets back up on their feet.
Is the message to shelter in place for all 49 counties that are under the state of emergency?
So it's if you're in a part, there's counties where the storms pass, so there may be some outer bands. That's not necessarily saying shelter. Saying if you're in the path of where the eye wall's going, at this point you got to hunker down. And so those Big Bend counties, as we get into north central Florida, you're in jeopardy at that point. And so it's really those places where it's going to hit the eye wall, where the eye wall's coming in, to be able to not mess with it. It's going to be a significant impact.
Any concerns about the 100 that decided to stay on Cedar Key?
Well, sure. I think that it's a hazardous situation. If you end up with storm surge that even approaches that 16 feet, the chance of surviving that is not great. You would need to be maybe even like on a 3-story building, because it is going to rise very, very highly. But there were some people. Now, most people did heed the warning, but there were some that that's what they wanted to do. And so once this passes, There will be rescue efforts done if need be, and hopefully it's not necessarily. Hopefully they knew what they were doing and they have a spot, but it's potentially very, very hazardous when you're talking about really anything even approaching 10 feet. But when you start talking about potentially 16 feet, that is a huge, huge deal.
Yesterday, the expectation was that there would be 40,000 electrical linemen in state to respond to the restoration effort. Did we reach that?
What are the well? We said up to. We said probably between 30 and 40, and that's where we're at.
We're between 30 and 40.
Yeah.
We haven't talked to the crews this morning because they're actually out in the field doing what they're doing. So I'm not so much worried about the numbers right now as much as we are getting the power restored. So.
Yep. Oh.
Do you think that Florida caught a break here in the fact that this is hitting the Big Bend and not areas like the Tampa Bay area?
Well, it's not a break for the people that are in the pathway. So I think it's anytime you have it, it's difficult. If you just look at the way Florida is cut, to have something go in this Big Bend, and it's going to be to Georgia relatively soon. Whereas we've had some hurricanes, like Ian, it rams into Southwest Florida, and then it cut across the entire state. And really impacted many, many millions of people. So you don't want to get hit at all. You want it to be as modest an impact as is humanly possible. And I think that there's different paths that some of these storms would take. Ian was one that was a really bad path just because it impacted so many people. People saw the images of Fort Myers Beach, and obviously that was those were catastrophic images. But, you would go hundreds of miles away, and you had major, major flooding. You had erosion on the east coast of Florida in places like Volusia County, the beaches and things like that. You had structures falling down because of that. So it had massive, massive impacts. And so anytime you do this, you would want it to impact as small amount of places as possible.
What do you think about Trump? He's a resident here in Florida, and he hasn't commented on Idalia at all yet.
It's not my concern. My concern is protecting the people of Florida, being ready to go, and we've done that. And look, in Florida, you just have to do this. This is something we put a lot of time and effort into throughout the course of each year, knowing that there's going to be time where you're going to have to activate it. Now, we had a major one last year, one of the most expensive on record. We were hoping not to have any this year, that maybe we would get off lucky, but that just wasn't in the cards. So you deal with it. But that's been our focus, getting all this stuff ramped up. I think the counties, by and large, I think have done a really good job with this. And there's going to be things that are going to happen over these next few days. They're going to require a lot of support, and we want to be there to be able to support folks. So we'll be back with doing some more briefings, and then as soon as the storm passes, I think we'll probably end up trying to get on the road and figure out where the worst damage is, and get down there and see what we can do to be able to help those folks. Thanks.
Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida wrapping up a press briefing, giving us a bit of an update on Hurricane Idalia, now a Category 4 storm. So what does that mean? We're talking about winds projected to be between 130 and 156 miles per hour. A major concern, other than the wind and the rain, is, of course, storm surge. We can see up to 16 feet, which makes it very, very dangerous for some of those low-lying areas. The governor asking people to leave if they have the ability to at this point, before it gets to a point where they cannot get any help should they find themselves in trouble. We're going to continue to cover Hurricane Idalia throughout the rest of the morning. We've got lots of coverage ahead. We're going to track the scope and the impact of this hurricane this morning for you. For now, though, we're going to take a bit of a break, so stay with us. You are streaming CBS News Mornings.